All right, so here we go. There was a flash of red and white. My father punching me in the chest. All right, I'm going to try the other one. Hold on. Get a second here. Try this one. All right. There we go. It should be good. No, it's not. Hold on. I'm just going to hold it. Yeah. Kyle, you're right, man. I'm just going to hold it. There we go.
Damn right.
No more limp wieners, guys. All right, so here we go. There was a flash of red and white. My father punching me in the chest and face, and me with a gray and black backpack filled with clothing loading it into a police car. I was scared, but didn't want to look. I didn't want anyone to notice, so I tried to stand up straight. That failed countless times, and therefore I just remained in a slouch position. As I climbed in and sat down in the back of a police car for the first time ever, all I could think was one thing. This isn't a roomy back seat at all. My knees were pushed against the black plastic of the back seat window that separates the criminals from the boys in blue. I knew there was usually a shotgun under the front seat, and I contemplated what it would be like to reach under there and use it. Maybe on myself or maybe on the cops, I don't know. It was late October and it was a frigid night. You guys know how it gets in the winter. That wasn't in the novel, but it might be now, actually. A night where you felt as if it was the dead of winter and the devil himself was controlling the climate. As the goosebumps traveled slowly up my arms, I shivered and my teeth wouldn't stop chattering. I felt so betrayed, so helpless, and so alone. I couldn't help thinking of how this might change my night, my life, and how it would affect my future. What was going to happen to me? Before I could think another thought, the policeman in the front seat snapped me back into reality and said, "Not to sound like your uncle or anything, but you really have to obey and respect your parents. What they say goes, and as long as you're under their roof, what they say just goes." I didn't respond. And I was thinking in my head, if you only saw what went on in my house, if you only saw how much my dad drank, if you only saw the pain in my mother's eyes, if you only saw how neglected I've been my whole life, if you only saw everything that you needed to see, you wouldn't be saying any of this to me. We sped off down the hill and onto the windy, cold, desolate road ahead. I got driven to the police station. I was told to wait with the sergeant. He was a wireframe man who looked like his name should have been Ken. It wasn't, though. Or was it? He had red skin and brown hair. He sat and he stared at me. I sat there looking down and feeling completely hollow inside. It must have shown that I was so helpless and I felt so hollow because the same police officer that made the comment about respecting my parents came in a couple minutes later and asked if I wanted something to drink. I didn't drink back then, but I wish I did. I took his peace offering and said, "Yes, sir." He went outside, put money in the soda machine, and returned with a can of Coke. It actually did calm me down a little bit. I was surprised. Either that or the cracking of the top and pouring in the styrofoam cup took my mind off all the bullshit. I must have sat in the police station for what seemed like all night. Little did I know they were doing behind the scenes. They were searching for families that wanted a bastard child. And I kept thinking to myself, but I'm not really a bastard, am I? All of a sudden, Officer Respect, can of Coke, came around the door and told me to finish up my can of Coke and grab my bag. We were going to meet my new father. I was so confused as to what was going on. The officer and I proceeded to get into the cruiser, and as I grabbed the back door handle, he yelled to me, "Right up front with me." This combined with the can of Coke offering made me feel like I was almost normal again. On the way to the meeting point, which happened to be a Hess gas station, Officer Respect turned to me in a more personal level with a more sympathetic tone. Over the rev of the Crown Victoria motor, I heard him. "You know, you just gotta do what your parents ask. We've all been there plenty of times and it sucks, but what they say goes, man." Yet again, I wanted to tell him of the alcoholism and the abuse. But since he seemed to be sincere, I just shook my head up and down in acknowledgement to what he was saying. He told me a story about how he'd gotten his police cruiser up to 160 miles an hour. There was a girl, and she had been stung by a bee, and her throat was closing up. She was having trouble breathing, and it was getting worse. The ambulance still hadn't arrived yet, so I took matters into my own hands. I put her in the back seat of my cruiser, and I drove her to the hospital myself. He then almost got teary-eyed. You know, it's really odd when somebody that is supposed to have such a hard, strengthened aura, an officer of the law that needs to make sure everyone respects him, let their guard down, even for just a second. It's nothing short of amazing. By this act of officer respect, showing me his more human side, I almost felt comfortable sitting in the police car next to him. I saved her life, and it felt so good to save that little girl, he said. I noticed he quickly shifted back into cop mode right after finishing his story. The hardened aura was back in effect. It wasn't at 100% though, I noticed. We finally arrived at the meeting point, and I began to open the door. Officer Respect grabbed my arm lightly. Listen, be good, okay? And good luck with everything. I hope it all works out. I stepped outside into the unforgiving, ice-cold air to meet my new parents. And those are actually inspired by true events that actually happened to me. And I'm going to go on, and I'm going to read something that I wrote. And it's really ironic that I wrote this, because I wrote this 2 years before I had open heart surgery and almost died. And you're going to see the irony in this when I read it, because it's 2 years ago. I have the original file on this Mac that wasn't modified past 2008. It's called Little Do I Know. It takes motivation to get up out of bed. It takes everything I've got to get out of the door. It takes dedication to keep this up. My first step out of the door, and my conscience is weighing heavy. Each day it gets harder to do this, but something isn't right on this day, and I can feel it. Jesus Christ, give me more time. I promise to use it to right my wrongs. Extra blood drips down into my collapsing aortic valve, and little do I know, I only have a short time left. A few days, to be exact. I was so close, and I almost got it. I almost got life. The misplaced blood and fluid now takes control, and my next step falls short. I trip and I'm on the ground. My goddamn sight is blurred into white, and I can't hold on much longer to this life. A warm sensation comes over my body, and I try to pull myself up, but I fall back down. I'm going to make it, or am I? Please, anyone, give me a phone. Tell everyone that I care about that I love them. Nobody is around. Nobody is around to talk to love, to hold. And I'm sorry to anyone if I ever did them wrong. I'm sorry. My goddamn sight is blurred to white, and I can't hold on much longer. As everything fades out of my sight, I have one wish, and one wish only. I wish I would have loved more, hugged more, told everyone I cared about how I felt about them. You know, even stupid little things like holding doors for people is something. Saying thank you to somebody who holds the door for you. It's little things like this that make people's day. So try to do that more. Because those little things are what I was looking at that I didn't do. To family members, to people that I didn't know, to old people, to everybody. Hold the door, hold the door. Wait a couple seconds while that old man fumbles his way to the door. Wait, just, even if you have to wait a minute. Who cares? Maybe you'll make his day. Maybe he was thinking about killing himself, and you just held the door for him, and he's like, oh my God, wow, this person just held the door for me. Holy shit. Maybe he doesn't curse, and he said, holy shit, wow. Yeah, and basically, most important, don't think, and this is actually to everybody here, don't think, just know that you are all awesome. I am awesome. You're awesome, you're awesome, you're awesome. Everybody here is awesome. And I'm going to go ahead and end my performance with a chant. All right? You guys got to do this with me. I am awesome.
Love that.
Let's go. I am awesome. I feel like this is a cult following. I am awesome. I am awesome. Louder, I can't hear you guys. I am awesome. I am awesome. I am awesome! I am awesome! I am awesome! Alright guys, thank you so much. I actually have from my band, The Non-Existent Year, I have demo CDs, I have business cards, I have full lengths. The demos are actually only $1 or $2 if you want to donate a little bit more for my cause. That's cool. I'm right here. Come say what's up to me. I love you all. Thank you so much. Thank you, Timmy, for booking me. He's awesome. Tree City Mini Golf and the New York's finest Italian Ice is right here. Guys, thank you so much.